everyone. Today I have brought for you all a very important topic of grammar, which is direct and indirect speech. Many a times students have confusion, many a times students are not clear about this part of the grammar. So, and also I would like to share here that this part of the grammar is important for the board students also. The students who will be about to giving exams for their 10th board, they have this as one of the exam topics. So watch this session till the end. You will get a very clear picture about direct and indirect speech, and you will also understand about how to change the direct speech into indirect. So without any further delay, I would quickly share my screen and proceed with the session. The session is really interesting and I'm sure it will be a good learning for you. Direct indirect is not a new name when it comes to grammar, but yes, understanding this topic or understanding this chapter is always challenging for the students. So here I'm trying to simplify it. I'm just trying to see that you understand it in a better way. I have the content that I have is as per your understanding, and here I go. So you can just see here we are just having only one agenda for today's session, which says direct and indirect or reported speech. And of course, we will have some practice questions for the same. Moving further, there are certain sentences. Let's read together. Rita said, I'm teaching German for the first year and the second year college students. Rohit asked her brother, can you pick me up on the way home? My family is finally coming home this weekend, said Yogesh. The manager replied, we are ready. Rohini said, my husband has been working as a doctor for 7 years. What are you going to do with the broken toy? Asked Katie. Okay, so what do we see here, people? We see here that some part of the sentence is in the quotation mark, which is of blue color. Do you see? And these sentences are also, a question, it is a statement, it is exclamation. These are various sentences we have used here. Okay, and also you must be noticing this red comma. Okay, so just remember, people, comma also has its value when it comes to scoring grammatical logics. When I talk of grammar and when I talk of direct indirect, this is what you have to first understand. Okay, so the direct sentences will have the quotation opening inter commas and the closing commas. Okay, and you have the simple comma over here. Now, moving further, this is what I mean. See, we are talking of inverted commas, the some part, okay? The words and inverted commas are exactly the words spoken by the speaker and are termed as direct speech. When I want to quote somebody, okay, when I want to use the exact words of the speaker, I put them in inverted commas. And it is something like this. So we have open inverted commas, we have the direct content the speaker spoke, the direct same content of the speaker, and we have the inverted commas closing it. So this is called quoting some sentence, which is also called as direct speech. Moving further, this is the definition. It says direct speech is when the reporter presents a statement exactly as it was said by the person, using the precise words, the same words. That is direct speech. Okay? And when you want to say that these are the direct words of the speaker, you put them in inverted commas. Okay? The sample sentences are here again. The little child said excitedly, that was a wonderful place. Mayuri said, I am really happy to visit your house on Diwali. So these are the sample, these are the logics of a direct speech. Okay? To be precise, direct speech are the words in the inverted commas, And when you're writing the extra part, like Mayuri said, the little child said excitedly. So after these things, you make sure you write a comma, you put a comma. Okay. Otherwise, in grammar, in your board exams, your marks would be deducted. Okay. It's a matter of score, it's a matter of marks. So be careful. Now let's read again. I am studying, said Rupesh. Mohit said, I want to go to the picnic. Now, see these two statements over here. You see the inverted commas in the first one starts, then the words of the speaker, and then the other part said Rupesh. In the second one, it is reverse. We see Mohit said comes first, then the part of the sentence of the speaker, like direct speech comes. Inverted commas में जो words है, right? So it can be written in either way. You can write said Rupesh at the end, or you can start a sentence by writing Mohit said. So it can be written in any way. You just have to identify the inverted commas, and you have to identify the comma. Okay. uh, let's move on. These are the direct ones, and these are indirect sample of it. Rupesh said that he wants to study. Mohit said that he wants to go to the picnic. Okay. As we just now saw the definition, it says the same for the direct speech and for the indirect speech. Now, indirect speech is also termed as reporting speech or reported speech. Okay. So, in the exam paper, instead of indirect, if you get the word report or reported, don't worry. It is the same as indirect speech. Okay. Moving on to the further, let us see the direct speech bit in detail. Okay. So here we go with direct and here we go with indirect. I'm trying to compare both the speeches. Fine. The first one says these are the same words spoken by the first person. Okay, the first person who's speaking. Like when I say I am teaching you, so I'm the first person. So my words will be in the inverted commas. Okay, so that becomes direct speech. These are the words told by the or expressed by the reporter in his or her own words. Now, when I say I am teaching you, I am myself telling. Fine. Now, when this thing is reported by you to somebody else, if you want to say that Bhavika ma'am was teaching, so what you can just put it as I am teaching, inverted commas, said Bhavika ma'am. Or you can say Bhavika ma'am said, I am teaching. Okay, so this becomes direct indirect logic. The motive here is to state the exact or the same words of the of course speaker. That is what I've been telling you. Even now I'm telling you the same. It reports the statement which started by someone in the past. Yes, now tense is important. The direct and the indirect. Indirect always uses the past tense. Okay. It is stated with the reporting verb or single phrase. Here you have multiple options like say, tell, said, inform, asked, talked, speak, many other. Okay, so you can use either of these reported words and you can put on the content over here when it comes to indirect speech. The tense of the verb is the same. So as I said, the tense over here will remain the same. Okay, the present tense or whatever the continuous tense, it will remain the same. But in this case, it will be converted mostly into the past tense. Okay, the verb changes to past tense. In my previous uploadings of the episodes, I have already taught the students what are tenses. I have already taught what are verbs. So you can refer to my previous videos. The link of the same I will put it in the content when I upload this video, and I'll be there. You can click and go to those videos to know what are verbs and to know what are tenses. Okay. So basically, direct and indirect, main thing you have to just remember is direct speech is utilizing the same words which the speaker spoke, and indirect is more about the past tense of the same situation or the same content. When you want to share it to the third person, obviously the content becomes in the past tense. Okay, so moving on further, we have something to read. Now you need to pause your system here, pause your video here, and give the answer for this. This is direct speech. It says, I said I am playing. So your answer, your time to answer starts now. I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay. I hope you have written the answer. I'm giving you the correct answer. It is, I said I was playing. I hope you wrote the same answer. Your answer is correct. Let's see the second one. It is, she asked, are you happy? Your time starts now. 5 seconds starts now. It's time for you to answer in your book. Okay. And the correct answer here is, she inquired of whether you were happy. So we are talking of you, and over here we are keeping the indirect as you, and see the tense difference. Okay. I was. Okay. You were. So this is what I mean when I say tenses. Okay. Moving on to the next part. Again, your time starts. You can answer. Okay. And the answer goes here. He said that he would sleep then. So now becomes then. Will becomes would. Fine. So direct, indirect, simple, basic rules are in front of you till now. In the upcoming time, we are having very good bifurcations how to convert direct into indirect. So do watch the video till the end. You will have a very good grip, especially the board students, the students those who are giving, irrespective of which board you're giving, maybe the Gujarat board or the CBSE board or the ICSE board, doesn't matter much. Even the students who are not appearing for the board, this is a common topic. You will see that these type of questions come up to you from any grade, and it is always a good learning for a correct writing and a correct speaking manner. Fine. Let's proceed with the session. So here are some rules. Now from here the session becomes more interesting. The rules are actually very simple if you pay attention to them and understand them. The first one coming up for you people is changes in person of pronouns. So you already know what is a pronoun. Find parts of speech you must have studied, right? If not, you can run back to my other videos and understand what the pronouns are. As of now, I'm moving on with the topic which says changes in person of pronoun. Fine. First person, second person, third person. I hope you remember this. That is, I, you, we, all these logics. Fine. The first person pronoun in indirect speech. For example, I for singular when you're talking of yourself, and we when you're talking a group of people where you are included in that group. Okay. So I and we changes to the third person pronoun in the indirect speech. Okay, depending on the subject of the reporting sentence. If the subject is singular, if the subject is plural. Okay, depends on a lot of other logics of subject. Now when I talk of subject, I hope you know subject and predicate, right? So here we are talking of the subject of the reporting sentence, or of course the topic of the reporting sentence. Okay, one sample is given over here for you, example is done for you. Direct speech we have, she said, I'm going to the store. Now, I am going to the store. Okay. Here it changes to, she said that she was going to the store. I am, she was. So, do you see the pronoun change here? Okay. When I say I am, first person, when I say she was, a different pronoun. And was again is a past tense. Okay, so just remember this. It's very easy. It's really interesting and very easy. No worries at all. Keep these things in mind. And of course, practice. You need practice. We have some practice sentences at the end. So do watch the videos till the end and you'll surely have a good hold over this topic. Okay. The next one, what we have for you is change in person pronoun. The second part, second person pronoun. First person we saw. Now this is the second person. The second person, that is you. When we talk of second person, it's about you. In the indirect speech, typically changes to the third person pronoun, that is he, she, they. Okay, when we talk of the indirect based on whom you refer you as. Okay, let's see the sample example sentence over here. He said you are very talented. Okay, indirect speech. He said that I was very talented. If the person is talking about me, okay, if this the speaker is talking about I, if the speaker is talking about the next part you, then the sentence would be he said that you were very talented. Okay, that is what we meant when I say depends on whom you are talking about. Is it about I or is it about you? Okay, moving on to the next one. Third person. So we saw the first person, we saw the second person. Now we are seeing the third person. The third person pronouns like he, she, it, they generally do not change when converting direct to indirect speech as they already in the third person. Okay. So see again over here the simple logic is you don't have to worry when it is about he, she, it, they. Okay. You just have to look into I and you when it is about the first person and the second person. Okay. Moving on with this, John said, she is my friend. John said that she was my friend. Past tense, okay? She remains she. Coming back over here once again, she remains she. Only is and was, and his, of course, is added. Okay? Further, we have again the fourth part, that is when it is about question and command. As in the beginning, I told you that it is not only about statements, it is also about questions and commands when we talk of direct and indirect. Board students, especially, take a note of this. You won't get all the statements, only the statements. You may get some questions, you may get some commands to change from direct to indirect. Okay, let's see what it is about. In questions or commands, pronouns may change in the same way, but the structure of the sentence also changes from question to statement. Okay? So previously it was a question, now it becomes a statement. Or from direct to reported speech. Let's see example, you will get a clear picture for the same. She asked, are you coming to the party? Now this is a question, see. And this is a direct speech. Are you coming for the party? Something like that. Okay? She asked if I was coming for the party or if I was coming to the party. Okay, she asked if I. So when she's asking me, okay, so this is what it remains almost the same. Only you becomes I, and of course, tense changes. Okay, so I was coming to the party. Now let's see about command. He said, please give me the book. He asked me to give the book. Simple. He said becomes he asked, okay, me to give the book. So this is just the command. Now, again, I would say here, when it is question, when it is command, the conversion becomes more easy. Nothing changes, only I logic changes and just a simple change like he asked me to give him the book. Okay. Okay. Now let's see the rules, how to change direct to indirect, and let us focus on the tense part. In the previous session, we focused on the pronouns part. Now we are focusing on the tense part. Okay, to begin with. Now, here also I have given some sample examples and everything, which makes the lesson very interesting and easy. I would say practice is needed again. Without practice, with only one or two sample sentences, you may not be able to get your desired marks. Okay, so you stay connected, do the solving of the questions, and of course, you will get the desired score. Moving on to the tenses, let's see how it goes on. The first formula or the first understanding is the simple present tense changes to simple past tense. Okay, so we are talking of present tense which changes to past tense. Simple present is for the direct, past tense is for the indirect. Okay, if the direct speech is in the simple present tense, it usually changes to simple past tense in indirect. Just keep this in mind, and it's very simple. Basic rule. Sample sentence. He says, I like coffee. Okay, it's time for you to answer. Let's see whether you get it correct or not. Fine. The answer goes, he said I he said that he liked coffee. Okay? So this is the correct answer. So we see the use of that and liked ed. He said that he liked coffee. Okay? Moving on to the next one. We are talking of present continuous and then it changes to past continuous. The logic remains the same. And the sample sentence here says, she is reading a book. It's time for you to answer. Okay, now see whether your answer is correct or not. She said that she was reading a book. So, is reading says about the present continuous, was reading says about the past continuous. Okay, present perfect to past perfect. Okay, and the sample sentence for the same says they have finished their homework. They said that they have finished their homework. Okay, moving on to the next one. Present perfect continuous, and it says past perfect continuous. Okay, let's see the sample sentence. I have been working all day. Okay, direct I'm talking. I have been working, that is what I'm directly telling. Okay, she said that she had been working all day. I have changes to had, I changes to she. Okay, she said that she had been. Now because we are talking of continuous, so it says been is needed. Okay, when we talk of perfect and we talk of continuous, and when we say present, have indicates present, had indicates past. Fine, moving on to the next one. Simple past. Okay, past perfect. The sample sentence here says he finished the work. He said that he had finished the work. Now, when we talk of perfect, the usage of the word had. He had finished the work. Okay? Past continuous, and we talk of past perfect continuous. Okay? And here it goes. They were playing football. Okay? So it's past. Were playing, were, and ing, past continuous. They said that they had been playing. Had been playing. Okay. So now we are going to talk still about the tenses, but a bit of models included in that. Like we already know, the models are like, will, would, shall, should, can, could, and so on. So the first thing that is on the screen that says will and would. Okay. This comes under the same topic. Moving on to the sample sentence over here. It says direct speech. She said, I will call you. And it's time for you to give the correct answer of this in indirect speech. And your time starts now. Okay. The correct answer coming up, or you just see whether your answer is correct or not. It is, she said that she would call me. Okay. Especially board students, you can just keep a track of this or note of this. Will, would. Okay. The tenses, the direct and the indirect, and of course the first person, second person, third person logic. Combination of everything will give you a correct answer or correct conversion of the direct sentence to indirect sentence. Moving on to the next part, it says shall, should. And the sample sentence for the shall and should is I shall go to the market. He said that he should go to the market. Okay, shall, should, the usage of the models or in terms of tenses. We are talking of the first person, I, and here when we are talking of indirect, we change it to he. Okay, can, could, and the sentence for can, could says she can play the piano. Okay, you answer to this and then I'll show the answer. Okay, let's see the answer. It says, she said that she could play the piano. Moving on to the next one, we have may, might. And let's see what we have with may, might. I may go to the party. He said that he might go to the party. Okay, I already have one chapter uploaded in the on my channel about the models. You can go through the chapter, understand more the logic of shall, should, okay, may, might, and everything. That will give you a good insight over the models. Moving on to the next one, must and had to. Of course, must means had to. Okay, and example over here is she must finish the assignment by tomorrow. This is a direct speech sentence. She said that she had to finish. It's a compulsion. Must and had to. Both are compulsion. Okay, when we talk of models. Okay. Moving on to the next one, ought to. Now, ought to does not change whether direct or indirect. People, I have got a very good insight throughout the chapter. Okay, though I have given one examples of every logic, every area, but I have not left out any stone unturned when changing direct to indirect. Especially, I have taken this effort for the board students, 10th board, irrespective of the category, that is the the state or the CBSE or any other, right? The chapter gives you very good insight on the usage and the conversion of direct to indirect speech. Okay, moving on over here, the sample sentence says, you ought to help your parents. That is something that you should do. Okay, he said that I ought to help my parents. Be careful of your pronouns, be careful of the tenses as discussed. Okay, and also be careful of the models though represented here in the form of tenses. Okay, sample questions for you people, and you can we sure you just solve these questions, and you can put the answers in the chat box below, comment box below. Okay, and I will surely upload the answers in the next week for the same. Till that time, you have the time to give the correct answers, mention it in the comment box. Bye for today. I will be coming up with more such sessions.